Thanks for checking out another video here at everyone's favorite website, Long Island Music and Entertainment. Today we are here in Farmingdale at Charlotte's, where during the week they serve ice cream, weekend nights it's a speakeasy, and today, Cinco de Mayo, it's an art exhibit, and one of the artists featured downstairs at the speakeasy is my guest today, Mike Pagano is here. So we have an art exhibit downstairs. You're one of the featured artists. Tell us about your artwork and how long you've been doing it, and a little bit about Mike Pagano.
So basically, I used to do a lot of work just on my own, just for fun, kind of a hobby, into comic books, as you can see. And then I had children, and we started doing these, oh, my dad does superheroes and this and that, so I started making superheroes for the kids or for the schools or for the school events. So now I'm starting to get, wow, this is like a full-time job for me, but I've got a full-time job. Long story short, that's really that was my passion, drawing and painting. Starving artist is definitely something that I don't want to be a starving artist, so I did keep my living with a dry cleaner in Manhattan until I retired. So now I'm living the dream, and I'm basically doing what I love to do, paint and draw.
All right, now you have some of your paintings right here behind us. Tell us about this. This is Black Panther. Tell us about this painting.
So, for instance, I'm very into Marvel. I love DC, but I love Marvel a little bit more. I love the characters, they're very colorful. This actually was a painting that I did, and I was talking about how the painting was not going where I wanted it to go, and I realized how difficult it is to draw or paint a guy wearing a full black costume. And I give a lot of credit to the guys who do Darth Vader and this and that. So this one was one of those paintings that I was working on. I didn't like it. Worked on it again, I didn't like it. It was pretty much ready for the garbage. So here I am, like, I hate to waste these canvases because, this is nice canvas. Well, I give it one more shot, and I start throwing different shades of black, and I start throwing a little bit of blues and light blues and whites. So this is probably my first actual all-black costume character. It's now one of my favorite paintings. So it's kind of funny, all you artists out there, when you think that you screwed up, it's not really screwed up. You just have to look at it, walk away, go upstairs, scream, curse, go crazy, come back. Whatever you have to do, come back, and boom. And then you look at it with new eyes, and it's, it's now, like I say, I just love it. So that's
Now, we're here in Farmingdale. You are no stranger to Farmingdale. You're a resident of Farmingdale. But not only do you do paintings, incredible paintings like these, you are very familiar with the stores that you do, the characters on the windows for holidays and stuff. How did you get into that?
So, my store was in Greenwich Village, and as some of you might know, there's a Halloween parade in Greenwich Village, which walks down 6th Avenue. And if you haven't been there, go down one. They just get ready to be bombarded with a million people, but the parade is fantastic, and there is so much talent out there. Long story short, my store was on 6th Avenue, and for years I'm like, I want to do something to make people stop and say, that's Mike's store. I had a dry cleaners. So I started painting monsters. Each year was a different monster. One year it was the Universal monsters, Frankenstein, Wolfman, the whole thing. One year it was comic book monsters. One year it was the Grinch. And it became a tradition. So I was painting windows in my store. Then I retired. And I had no windows to paint. And of course, my wife won't let me paint my windows in my house. So I had to start going to local businesses, and I showed them what I did, and I started doing that, and it's kind of built up a little bit now. I'm retired for about a year and a half, almost 3 years, and it's something that I love doing. I love being out there. I get on the ladder and I just paint people's windows. It's just a great hobby, pastime. It's also a form of income as well.
All right, now let's go talk about the art exhibit. How did you get here at Charlotte's, and what's the money for that's being raised?
So what we're doing is, I know Charlotte since they first opened. Nick and John, fantastic guys. Nick DeVito, John DeVito. Nick is actually a huge comic book fan, so we kind of got close. My daughter used to work there. My daughter Heather was one of the first Charlotte's girls. She used to work doing the coffee and whatnot. So we became friends, and then once asked him about putting an exhibit together. He's like, anytime you want. So I did something last year, and last year's exhibit went really well, so we want to do it again this year. As I was putting this exhibit together, I met Kelly and her daughter Emma Russell. Emma's Journey. Emma's Journey is basically this 10-year-old girl who has type 1 diabetes, needed a service dog. And because it costs $15,000 for a service dog for these people to have, the dog kind of senses when her sugar levels are low. So, because it costs so expensive, this little girl, Emma, is like, I want to raise money for kids so they can have a dog like me. They have a dog, Rufus, which is adorable. Long story short, Emma started making these pictures and drawings, which later on maybe we can show you some of those pictures.
Absolutely.
And she started selling them locally. And she became a local hero. People love her work. She raised $7,500 for a girl in Louisiana. She just did it last week. It was her first step towards becoming an entrepreneur, and she got this foundation together. So we are going to take proceeds to our art exhibit today and give it to Emma for her foundation.
It's all over the cause, and we're gonna film some of your footage, some of your paintings downstairs. It's amazing work. Before we let you go, because I know it's showtime. What's your favorite superhero? I know you painted a lot.
Well, as an artist, Spider-Man is the greatest, and I'm going to tell you why. Because no matter where you draw his body, no matter what kind of muscle position, Spider-Man can do it. So you really can't mess up a Spider-Man picture. You know, if his arm is like this, it's like this, it doesn't matter. I love Spider-Man. I just love the fact that like you don't have to worry about concentrating on a face. It's basically, figure and cool.
I know we talked about this before. Spider-Man is one of my favorites. He's number 2, but number 1 on my list. I know a lot of people are for Marvel. I'm for Marvel as well, but Superman from DC is my favorite superhero. So I've been a Superman fan since the age of 3.
Yeah.
So
I think you mentioned that to me when we first met.
Yeah.
You did. So hold on one second. I got something. And this is I'm dropping everything, but this is. I made this guitar because I usually don't draw Superman, but I had to do this because when he told me like Superman, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna work on that.
That's pretty cool. That's gonna be proudly displayed at Lime headquarters.
This is for you.
Thank you very much. This is awesome. Thank you.
And you know what? When I'm gone, it's gonna be worth a lot of money.
All right. So, Mike, thanks again for your time. We know you're very busy with the art exhibit downstairs. Once again, we're here at Charlotte's Speakeasy for the art exhibit featuring Mike and another artist. And thanks for checking out this video here at Long Island Music and Entertainment.
Bye.